Today's ceremony of spiritual memorial is based on fundamental teachings of Buddhism, especially One Buddhism. As the opening remarks mentioned that today we celebrate the passing away of our founder, Sotaesan, about 55 years ago in 1943, in June 1st. If he alive, he would be 120 years old. He could be with us today. Last Sunday, I talked about birth, aging, illness, and death. Today, my focus is on cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death, and sense of belongings as we celebrate this spiritual memorial. How do you relate it with the birth, aging, illness, and death? Is it something part of you are going through and accept it as it is? Or do you think they have nothing to do with you? Thinking that I am permanent and I will not die. Or do you feel that you are isolated individual, nothing to do with others? Or you feel you have a sense of belongings? If you feel a sense of belongings, where do you belong? For both, we belong to our parents. Literally, we were connected with our mom for 10 months, and then giving out to the world. Without parents, we could not survive. If not parents, parenting anyone who are parenting us. For aging and growing up, we find a different group of people much more important than our own parents, called friends, peers. And during the illness, doctors become very important. And during death processing, spiritual community is critical. As I described it last Sunday, seeing those people who are waiting for the final moment, especially in deathbed, the numerous people are doing that at this moment. But if we have a spiritual community meditating with you, praying with you to go through the process peacefully, it's critical. And for life after death, your own karma will decide where to go, whom to meet, and what to do in your future. There is nothing wasted in our lifetime. If anything we do, both positive or negative, or wholesome or unwholesome, nothing will be wasted. And everything coming back to us in different times, in different forms. If you look at our human life, you cannot go somewhere you don't know. Especially if you want to enter a house, you have to know them. Otherwise, they will not let you in. The spiritual journey is similar. So where do you belong? The sense of belongings and community of wisdom is very important as adult life and toward the end. First, we need to understand today's relationship in our life. People we meet in this life and things we do deeply related to what you have done in the past. If you remember, that'll be nice, but we don't remember most of our past. Even our childhood is difficult to remember, but how can you remember your past lives? And past lives, and many yesterdays, many past lives. So today's life is a total sum of your past lives. As we have so many yesterdays, last year, last month, yesterday, so many past. So whatever you did in the past is coming into some form in your life, in this form, this life. For a long time we've been doing something, and again, very similar way, and very similar personality, very similar karma. Because nothing will escape what we are doing here and now in the present moment. Everything you do, both skillful or unskillful, will influence and reshape your future form, your future reality. So whatever you do, whatever you give away mentally, spiritually, physically, with your time, volunteering it, as well as materially, if you give away, it comes back to you in different time, in different form. So there is no way, no one can escape from that. There is no way not receiving things you give out, and there is a kind of a loan if you look at it. If you get a loan from bank, you have to pay it back, otherwise they will force you to pay back or take your house away. Similar way, everything we receive, everything we take is a form of a loan. We have to pay it back. It's a very simple way in Buddhist term is a law of causality. What comes around, what goes around. And what goes around and comes around. At the same time, not only taking and receiving it, but giving away is the same way. Physical giving away, material giving away, mental giving away with the prayers and caring word and being with them, and spiritual giving also is a form of investment. It will return to you in different ways with a high interest if you invest long enough. It's very similarly working like a finance market. So if you look at our life, what is happening here and now, you have to think about what you have done in the past. Because nothing is coincidental. Nothing is accidental. Second, we need to understand Buddhist cosmology. I don't know how much do you understand Buddhist cosmology. In Buddhist cosmology, there is 6 realms of existence. Since it's a difficult topic, in the near future, I will just devote one Dharma talk on this Buddhist cosmology of the 6 realms of existence. This is a psychological, as well as a metaphysical, as well as the reality of our beings on earth. In one Buddhist understanding, life comes back to earth 4 forms, or 4 different ways, 4 different forms. Like a baby born, like a human being, or a cow or a dog, be born as a mammal. And egg born like a chicken or a dog. And the third form is moisture born like a worms. And third one is be born a transformation like a butterfly. So different ways to come back, come on earth and being born. And when we finish our life here, when we finish our karma here, at the end of our life, we go 6 different ways. We call it 6 realms of existence or 6 paths. So how we do go, or how do we come here on earth? So 4 forms of birth and 6 realms of existence. This is a Buddhist cosmology. And And when we chant Heart Sutra as well as Ilwan-sang Vow, we chant every morning, hopefully all of you, every morning, right after silent meditation, we chant that we vow to discipline our mind and body. Why? Because these four forms of birth transforming according to how we use our minds and bodies. Without using your minds and bodies, you cannot transform. So these four forms of birth transforming into 6 realms of existence or 6 paths. According to how you use your mind and body, you make a progress or you make a regress, or you create a harmful situation even in a good, graceful situation, or creating grace from harm. So this is the 4 different ways of ups and downs within this Buddhist cosmology. So who makes sure it works? In Buddhism, we don't think God is doing it. In Buddhist understanding, natural law, spiritual law governs it. In one Buddhist terminology, the truth of Ilwan-sang is making sure that nothing is wasted. It's like a universal recording chamber. When you say, when you think, when you do, everything recorded in the universe. At the end of your life, it's a part of your karma, and that decides where to go, whom to meet, and what to do in your next life. So think about it. All the consequence is coming right back to ourselves in the future. So the principle of cause and effect, or natural law, or truth of Ilwan-sang, make sure all the process. If you plant the seed of flower, flower will grow. If you plant of a weed, weed will grow. If you plant the yellow bean will grow. If you plant red bean, a red bean will grow. So everything we do, mentally, physically, spiritually, materially, is restored there and somehow influencing your future reality. That's why we vow to discipline our minds and bodies, embodying truth of Ilwan-sang. So we vow to balance our mind and keep our healthy body, and we vow to gain wisdom through study of our life. You have to study your life. You study of a life of all beings on earth and universal principle. And we vow to use our mind and body perfectly, just like Ilwan-sang. In this way, we can make a progress in grace, and rather than regressing in harm. So we make a vow every day until you become Buddha. We make a vow until we are endowed with the limited power of Ilwan-sang and become one with the nature of Ilwan-sang, which means you become an enlightened one, you become a Buddha. Third, we need to understand fundamental Buddhist teaching of codependence of origination. How many of you understand the codependence of origination? When Buddha awakened with the tranquility of his mind and letting go of all his attachment, he awoke to this truth of codependence of origination. He described this codependence origination in 2 ways. One is a Four Noble Truths, and the other one is 12 links. Since all is a fundamental teaching and somewhat difficult to grasp it, I can come back some other time again. So the insight of codependence origination gives you a way to liberate yourself.